welcome back to the channel, and I just watched Captain America Brave New World. So this is the 4th installment in the series of Captain America movies in the MCU, but this time around we have our new Captain America. Previously it was Steve Rogers, played by Chris Evans, and now it's Sam Wilson, played by Anthony Mackie, who previously played the Falcon in the MCU. And really that's all the intro that you need, because aside from that, everything else in the movie is just kind of a big old spoiler, except for the big old Red Hulk in the room, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Really, you're only here to know the easy answer to if this movie is good or not, if this movie is as bad as a lot of people are saying it is. And I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all, no. It is not as bad as people are making it up to be. It is not even one of the worst movies in the MCU. That doesn't mean it's perfect, it definitely has its flaws, but me personally, I came out of enjoying it for the most part. I thought it was a pretty fun ride for the majority of the runtime. Even though it has its problems, you can still have some enjoyment out of it. And the people are kinda saying that it's one of the worst movies in the MCU, and this movie is bad, and it's awful. I feel like there's like a second agenda to this. People are definitely, in my opinion, overreacting when it comes to the quality of this film. Now that being said, are they right in some of their criticisms? Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, there's no doubt about that. I mean, with all the behind-the-scenes drama that we knew about this movie, all the reshoots, all the rewrites, everything involving some of the actors, specifically one actress, it is the perfect recipe for a massive fuck up. And you can see a lot of those things in the actual movie. There's so many scenes in this movie where you can tell this is a rewrite, you can tell this is reshooted, you can tell that there's something missing or that they changed some stuff. It is noticeable. Yet I am really impressed of the fact that they made this work the best as they could with the troubled production. Because by the end of the day, the movie's fine. Like, the movie works well enough the way it is. Even with some of the noticeable reshoots and rewrites, you can still see this movie as a working, functional movie. Now, there's some stuff that is definitely difficult to kinda ignore, and I'll get into that in a little bit. I first want to talk about the stuff that I really liked about it. I like Sam Wilson as Captain America. I think he did a great job. Anthony Mackie really brings his A-game into this role, and really, I'm excited to see him more as this character, if they even let him, with all the rumors of Chris Evans coming back to the MCU as some sort of variant of bullshit from the multiverse. I fucking hate this multiverse bullshit. But Sam Wilson as Cap, I think is really cool for me, and I really enjoyed everything around him in this movie. I also really liked the new Falcon. I thought he worked really well with Sam. He was funny and also some pretty good Latino representation, so that gets a big old thumbs up from me. I also really like what they did with Isaiah Bradley, who was previously seen in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the Disney Plus show. And I feel like they expand his story more in this movie. Not as much as I wish they did, but what they do with the character I thought was pretty fascinating. And the actor that plays the character, absolutely brilliant performance by this actor. He did amazing in this role. It's also heartbreaking seeing what he has to go through in this movie. There's something that happens to him in the film that I was like, God damn, this is absolutely fucked. My man cannot catch a break. And of course, Harrison Ford as General Ross, or now President Ross. He is really good in this movie. He brings that Harrison Ford goodness that we all know and love. He's just amazing. He brings life to this character. He brings in an incredible performance. It is sad to know that the original actor of the character could have done something really cool with this character in this movie. Unfortunately, he passed away a couple of years ago, but Harrison Ford does a fine job in what he has to do with this character. The action sequences are really fun. Like the fight with Red Hulk, I thought was pretty damn good. I absolutely loved that fight scene. There's a bunch of other fight sequences in this movie that I thought were really cool, especially one that involves aerial combat with jet fighters, and I'm like, okay, this is pretty damn awesome, okay? The fight sequence at the beginning of the film is also really cool. The choreography is great. I love what they do with the action in this movie. And when it comes to the special effects, it's also not that bad. There are a few spots here and there, definitely, that are like, ooh, that looks iffy. Ooh, that doesn't look as good as some of these other effects. But for the most part, it's not a bad looking movie. It's not abhorrently ugly or difficult to watch. And I did like some of the story beats in the movie, especially some of the stuff that has to do with Sam Wilson coming in and being the new Captain America, and the responsibility that comes with that, and all the pressure and the expectations that he kind of has to meet, or he kind of puts on himself. The fact that he's always trying to be perfect and be as perfect as possible. So I really enjoyed that. I do feel like they don't go as hard as I wish they did. I feel like Falcon and the Winter Soldier went a lot harder with these kind of topics, and I just kind of wish the movie went even harder, especially in the fucking world that we live right now. I feel like being vague is not what we need right now. So see, I'm telling you a bunch of stuff that I think is pretty cool from the movie. Now, what are the problems? Well, the obvious shit. The the reshoots and rewrites are noticeable. And some of them are definitely easier to kind of forgive or forget about, but there's some in particular that I'm like, okay, yo, come on, what happened here? Giancarlo Esposito's character, like he plays like the leader of this terrorist organization, I think, the Snake bullshit something, I don't know. And Giancarlo's great. Giancarlo Esposito is always great in every role he's in, but he's barely in the movie, and they kind of set him up like he's gonna come back in the future, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know if we're gonna continue this. And of course, the biggest elephant in the room is related to one actress, and I don't know the name of the actress, I forgot her name, and honestly I kinda don't give a shit. The character that she plays, I also don't know much about. I do know that in the comics, her character is named Zabra, and she is an Israeli superhero. And there's some funky stuff with her character in the comics for what I understand, but the big old yikes related to this is that the actress that plays this character is a huge fucking Zionist. So, ew. But also with some of the reshoots and rewrite stuff, they also changed a bunch of that about her character. Like in the movie, she's not really an Israeli. Like they don't even mention where she's from. She's a Black Widow or an ex-Black Widow, and it's like, okay, but she never gets like a Black Widow suit. In fact, she even gets like a superhero like blue and white costume in the movie, but you never see her do anything with it in the entire movie. In fact, there's like a point when you see her in that suit and then the suit is gone. Like that shit does not come back. And my biggest issue with this movie is that for a Captain America movie, this really is more like an Incredible Hulk sequel than a Captain America movie. And I'm not the only one saying this. Like a lot of other people that have watched the movie have said that this is an Incredible Hulk sequel that is disguised as a Captain America movie. And it's really obvious when you have so many characters that are Hulk characters. Ross turning into the Red Hulk, which by the way, there's a big old asterisk on that. Red Hulk doesn't appear until like the very end of the movie. Like really, the only stuff that you get from Red Hulk is what you get in the trailer. And it's that final fight. That's the only time we ever see Red Hulk. And it is infuriating because I think Red Hulk was genuinely a really cool part of the movie, and I wanted to see it more. Now there are little hints throughout the movie where Ross is getting stressed and he's getting kind of angry, and you start to see these little bits of like, oh shit, is Red Hulk gonna pop out? Is he gonna pop out now? You get so fucking annoyed by it by the point it's like, god damn it, just fucking turn already. And the other villain, which is another Hulk villain, who was also in the Incredible Hulk, the inspector or the illusionist or the whatever the fuck his name is, I completely forgot his name. At first I'm like, okay, this villain is kind of cool, and I kind of understand his motivation and kind of what he's doing, but then he explains more his motivation and more his reasoning behind all this bullshit, and it's like, okay, you just stopped making any sense. And the fact that his big deal is that, oh, I have calculated and the probabilities of me succeeding. Oh brother, it's one of these. Also, he looks butt fucking ugly. Like, not even in the kind of scary, terrifying way. No, he just looks fucking awful. Like, his design is terrible, which is weird because I remember seeing some promotional art of the character before the movie came out. I'm like, that looks okay to me. Like, he has a big old mustache and he has a big old brainist. He has a big old mega mind ass head, but the way he looks in the movie just looks fucking awful. And again, not in a good way, he just looks odd. And really, while I had a fine time with the movie, by the end I really was just kind of like, man, can we get the Fantastic Four already? I'm tired of the odd inconsistency of the MCU as of late. I don't like this directionless MCU. The fact that I don't know where the fuck any of this is going, and none of these movies have a fucking clue to where they're going, is really infuriating. Really, Fantastic Four is my last big hurrah for the MCU. If they fuck up with Fantastic Four, I'm done with the MCU. I'm gone. Like, I'm not doing this shit anymore. But if they do a good job with Fantastic Four, I'll be the MCU's biggest dick rider ever. I'll be a shill for the MCU. I don't give a shit. That's my promise. If Fantastic Four is amazing, I'll become the greatest dick rider of the MCU. If not, they can go fuck right off. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the movie. Is it perfect? No, absolutely not. But is it one of the worst MCU movies? Is it truly a bad movie in itself? No, it's not. And people that are saying it is are over-exaggerating. And again, I do feel like there is a second agenda to this whole, this is the worst MCU movie ever. Okay, bro, I know what you are. So, my final rating for Captain America Brave New World is a 6 out of 10. Again, I'm a little bit disappointed because I definitely wanted this to be better, but by the end, I still got a pretty fun movie by the end. It's not perfect, it definitely has its issues, it's very glaring issues, but I do respect the movie for at least trying.
You may be Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers. You're right. I'm not.
But thank you so much for watching. What did you think of Captain America Brave New World? Did you love the movie? Did you hate it? Or just kind of in the middle? Let me know down in the comments. I really want to know what you guys think about it. And like always, good day, good night, and stay safe.